as the title says, we've got some good news and some bad news. Now, this year, we're nearly through our red deer season, normally our ballot season, but this year we tried our hardest to look at the way the legislation actually is, look at the restraints of insurance that have been put on us over the last probably 12, 18 months, and try and work within the letter of the law without going totally mad. Okay, it's been a tough job, and the people, the hunters that have come in and assisted us in our deer management program have been fantastic, and I give a thanks to everybody out there. Now, I've stirred a lot of people up with with some of the clips I've been putting on lately, and for that I sincerely do not apologise at all, because I think people needed it. Now, let's look at the bad news side of it. The bad news is that a lot of the hunters out there in this country will have to wake up. You will have to take a damn good look at yourself. We've had to. We're saying to you, you don't like me saying it, you'll be burring up there. Well, I don't care. Time's come, people. Take a good look at yourself. Probably 10 years ago, I had one of the head guys from a political party that I won't name, from down south, a great political party that's doing a heck of a lot for hunters and landowners, fishers, you know, farmers right across the point there. We had the head guy there, and I think the world of this guy. And we just about had a row at the table of our old hunting lodge at Glenfiddich. And there was a lot of people around, and I was that frustrated with it, I just put my hands in the air and I walked out the door, saying he was one of the most stubborn, pig-headed buggers that I'd ever seen. And when I left the room, he actually turned to Judy and the other people and said, "Clark's right, you know. He's right. But if we admit to this, just about everything turns on its head." Unfortunately, that's what I've had to do over the last few months. I've had to turn things on their heads. Now, what people are saying and what we're seeing is that landowners basically are not covered for recreational hunters in Queensland, and by the look of it, in the other states as well, right? I didn't come up with this. All I'm doing is reporting on what we found to try and give you, the hunters out there and the landowners out there, a heads up. It looks like landowners are not covered for recreational hunters that are coming on their properties. Okay, now hunters can say they've got $20 million public liability and all that, and that's all great, fantastic, right? But in Queensland, definitely, if somebody, let's say the worst case scenario, somebody is dead on a property that's been in there hunting, and it could be many things: car accident, heart attack, snake bite, fatigue, dehydration, could be a fall off a cliff. It could be any of those things. Right, say somebody's dead. Safe Works Queensland is going to arrive after the police and the ambulance and everybody are finished, okay? And they're going to ask the landowner some pretty curly questions. That's the way it is. I did not invent this. All I'm doing is trying to tell you people, right? This is what they'll do. If they find negligence on behalf of the landowner, then that's when the trouble starts, okay? Landowners can be fined in the worst cases that we have seen. One here in Gympie with a guy I know, he's doing 5 years in jail for industrial manslaughter, okay? Times have changed, people. Times have changed. The last 20, 30 years have changed dramatically. The last 2 or 3 years has been astronomical changes, right? So landowners need safe work method statements. If they're running a business, if they've got a company or just even a registered business and they are trading cattle, they're doing work, they're working 24/7 in that business, on that property. If they've got people on that property, those people, whatever they're doing, are inside a working business. I've had people here this year with me that this is what they do for a living. They work with OH&S, they work with workers' compensation claims, and even one guy I've talked to that works for Safe Works Queensland himself. They have told me okay? So I'm listening. I'm taking this in, saying we've got to get this across to our hunters. We've got to get this across to our landowners. Now, one landowner, one of our great landowners, has been a great supporter of this group right since day one. He was renewing his insurance for his property, so he listened to me. So he asked his insurance broker whether he was covered, and that guy said, no, it's not in your policy. Anyway, the next thing, I find myself on the phone to this guy, fellow Philip Brown from Nutrients Insurance. What a great guy to talk to. He listened, he understood the situation, and the next thing I know, this landowner comes back to me, shows me a copy of his policy with hunting for feral animal management included as one of the clauses on his new policy. Nutrients Insurance, everybody. If you're a landowner out there that is concerned because your policy does not cover recreational hunters on your property, I'd say these are the guys to call, okay? So what we've got now is a situation where recreational hunters are included on a landowner's policy, right? So his negligence will be covered on there if something goes wrong, not criminal negligence, not if he's working outside legislation, not if he's working outside the law. You can't ask any insurance company to cover you for that. But if it's an accident and that landowner has tried his best to stop accidents from happening on his place, there is insurance to cover that now through Nutrients Insurance. That's a big thing. That is a huge thing for landowners out there. But what we need under that then are our property-based management plans. And this is what the Ridge Group and myself have been working on right since our start of the group back 30 years ago, when we had Brian Murphy up here, the great biologist from America, from Georgia. Brian Murphy was the guy that started the property-based management plans going over here, okay? We've developed it from that over 30 years to where we have got a very good property-based management plan system in place. That's what we use. Within it are our safe work method statements, our rules, our recording. All of that is within that system. The people that work in this role that I've talked to during this season have said that we have been way ahead of the mark, okay? Something that has given us a bit of relief. So the good news is we have a system in there that can work. If you're interested, go to the Ridge website, send me a message personally if you're a landowner that you want to do something, and we will try and assist you the best we can through the group or myself personally, so that you as a landowner feel far better covered than what you are, okay? We will assist you the best way we can, and that in turn will assist you guys that are the hunters watching this, because if you want to play the game, if you want to get out there and play by the rules, okay, hunting opportunities are going to open up like that for you now, all right? It means the bad news, what we're trying to say is the bad news is the she'll be right attitude has got to go, okay? It's time to put on your blaze orange. It's time to read the rules of a property. It's time to work as a team with your other hunters so that we have a future, okay? If you're interested, go to the Ridge website or contact me personally.